Well, some of you already have gotten mad because I've been picking on President-elect Barack Obama. Didn't seem to have a problem when I was picking on President-elect George Bush 8 years ago. Before he was president, I ripped all into him. I said he and Cheney were liars, said they wanted war with Iraq, and all this junk about them saying no nation building and they weren't going to police the world was bogus. And how did I know that? Based on Bush's voting record when he was a governor, Dick Cheney's entire life, he's done nothing but evil, and Bush's father in the CIA, and what I knew about the family, and what I knew about George Bush, I knew exactly what he was going to do. I looked at his advisors, I looked at his cabinet, and I told you from day one they wanted war with Iraq, yada yada. This was before YouTube, but it was all up on Rise Rants for a long time, for many years. Now Barack Obama is the president-elect, and I've been going after him. He's not even president yet, some people have said. So what? He's going to be president, and I've looked at his appointees, and I've looked at his voting record in the Senate, and he's an imperialist bastard, just like McCain, just like Bush. And, the criticism is warranted. I know he has a lot of supporters, but his supporters are usually good people. They're anti-war, they've got good intentions, they just have no idea who Barack Obama really is and what he's actually done. They've just cast all this hope onto him. Because the common enemy, everybody's anti-Bush, so am I. I run Anti-NECONS. But when you look at his record, he's voted to fund the wars. He got on TV yesterday and he said the same rhetoric that George Bush said, the same rhetoric about Iran, saying Iran's trying to build a nuclear bomb and this has to be stopped. There's no fucking evidence for that. Iran has been cleared of that. Their president is a figurehead. Ahmadinejad is not the leader of Iran, the Ayatollah is. He has absolutely no power, really. And it doesn't matter what he says, but Obama and McCain have been repeating this myth about the wipe them off the map stuff, which was never said. However, there is a country which is wiping off another country from the map, literally, and that's Israel, and what they're doing to the Palestinians. They've gone into the West Bank, they build settlements, which is a polite word for racial colonies. They are cities where by law only Jewish people are allowed to live, and this is not in Israel, this is in Palestine, and even if it was in Israel, it doesn't matter. You can't make towns or cities where only a certain ethnicity or race are allowed to live. That's utterly racist. It's an apartheid. It's the same as South Africa and other places, same as Nazi Germany. You cannot just go and demolish the homes of other people and then build new homes for your people to live in. That is completely racist, and it's ethnic cleansing. 6 million Palestinian people live as refugees. They're used as basic slave labor. Collectively identifying them with the whole Arab-Persian world, like some people like to do. Here's tiny Israel, and then look at all the Arabs that live around them. Is utterly stupid. That's like saying, well, look at Ireland. Who cares about their problems? Because look at all the white people that live in the rest of Europe, as if they're just all the same. It's stupid. Oh, Croatia doesn't matter. Look at all the other people. That collectivism is just childishly stupid. The Palestinians are not Egyptians. They're not Iraqis. They have different languages, different culture, different people, and to collectively just say, well, it's a race, so it doesn't matter. I mean, that's like saying, well, look at all Africa and the tiny little whites in South Africa surrounded by all these blacks, so apartheid's okay because they need it for their survival or something. Genocide is genocide, and ethnic cleansing is supported. The Democrats, people have been saying, oh, well, we got more Democrats in Congress and the presidency, so now maybe something will happen. Democrats have been in power since 2006 and have done nothing about the war or anything else. And when it comes to Wall Street, Obama, like McCain, voted for the bailouts. He's voted for all the economic policies exactly the same. He already was on TV yesterday and this morning backpedaling from his tax cut plan. He's not going to be taxing the uber rich. It's not going to happen. His chief of staff is a Zionist, Rahm Emanuel, whose father was a terrorist. Rahm Emanuel was in the Israeli army. He's the spokesperson of AIPAC, and AIPAC was caught spying on the United States and feeding us false information about Iraq prior to the Iraq War. Rahm Emanuel voted for the Iraq War. We got in there based on conscious lies. It wasn't mistakes. It wasn't incompetence. I know the Bush administration is highly incompetent. But this thing was rigged, and Niger forgeries are concrete proof of that. That's not a mistake. When the wrong person, the wrong foreign minister's name is on a document, that means it's a lie, because it's impossible for a man to sign something when the guy hasn't been in power since the 80s. Okay, that means someone wrote his signature on there. That's what a forgery is, which means it was faked, which means it was consciously lied about. CIA knew that, rejected it, Bush put it in his speeches anyway. That's just one example. There are many. There's the Downing Street Minutes. There's many, many examples of them lying about WMDs. There's examples of them planning about it. You go through the PNEC documents, Project for a New American Century, the American Enterprise Institute. I'm already going over the heads of most Obama supporters right now. But if you don't understand this stuff, I mean, the arrogance arguments, oh, you're so arrogant because people don't know what you know. Well, here's the thing. It takes about maybe 30 seconds to go on Google or some search engine, look up Obama's record. Washington Post will come up. It has it all listed. Look at things that are important, like, oh, reinstating the Patriot Act, voting to fund the war 3 times in a row, whatever, giving $1 billion to Georgia, wanting to expand NATO, doing nothing about immigration, like whatever your issue is, Obama either doesn't vote at all or he votes the way of McCain and Bush. He has done nothing. There is nothing to get excited about. You have to put the pressure on him now, or he's just going to keep appointing more Zionists. We're going to have another Bush-like president. I'm not willing to settle for that. You can say, well, what about the image? He's the first black president. Well, great. He's a black guy. Who cares? The image is there, but do you really want the first black president to be an absolute disaster? I would be very excited if the first black president was someone like Cynthia McKinney or Vince Bourdin or someone along those ideological lines that would actually stop neocolonialism, that would actually stop imperialism, that would actually do something. But Obama isn't. He's an Uncle Tom. And I use that word in the historical preference. It's not racist whatsoever. Obama is terrible. And he's going to be in history if he does what he's going to do. We have a financial collapse, which is mostly Bush's fault and what they've set up, but he completely agreed with it the whole time. He voted for all the same economic junk. He voted for the bailouts too. He's pro-Federal Reserve, but he's part of this, okay? And he's going to trash this country, and it's going to be very bad for blacks and other minorities. He's, you know, I'd like to also point out he's just as Arab as he is black, and he's half white. I don't know how they just chose he's black. I don't know. But to me, all that doesn't matter. I'm kind of pissed off that they focus so much on race and not the issues. I mean, who cares what somebody's father or mother was? Like, who cares? It has nothing to do with their policies. So he's a certain color. Whoopie-doo-dah. I mean, George Bush was a white guy. Did he help white Americans or any other kind of Americans? No, he didn't. He doesn't give a damn. He's helped destroy this nation. All they care about is corporations, and corporations are colorblind. They don't care. They will exploit whoever they can. They dominate all over the third world. That's the goal.